people participated through Facebook, through Twitter, through other social media, and we reached out 17,260 young people who participated virtually. And we did convene 2 continental youth consultations, which were held in 2019, 2020, and also another one which was held last year, the third one, which brought together young leaders from all over the continent, but also policymakers, including higher authorities from Comesa region, from the African Union, and also some parliamentarians, some former presidents, some former prime ministers, or current prime ministers. They have been engaging the youth on how they can participate meaningfully in governance and social development. We did also organize in Zambia a workshop which was meant to sensitize the young people in the way they can try to convince their peers to held peaceful elections. Because we know the young people are the ones who are mostly used when we have violence during elections. So they are sensitized on how to hold peaceful election and also to have a positive behavior towards the election in the country. The project also enhanced capacity of 25 young innovators. Out of them, 5 were selected and are being supported to implement the project, as I said. We also did convene a TOT on youth participation in electoral processes, and this was held last year in Gambia. It was a successful activity which really prepared young people to train others how they can help conduct peaceful elections in Gambia. Next slide, please. We did also develop some strategies and tools which were adopted by member states. These include the Comesa Youth Engagement Strategy, which was developed by the Secretariat and which was adopted by the Comesa Ministers of Youth and also endorsed in November by the Comesa Council of Ministers. Part of the Comesa Youth Engagement, we have this kind of dialogue like this Ndayisaba, which are being held in some countries so that youth can really meaningfully participate in civic engagement. We did develop a Comesa social media strategy with a focus on a youth platform, which was also adopted by the member state. The project is trying to roll it out and operationalize it through different platforms. The project developed internship guidelines, which was also adopted by member states, and we are trying to mobilize resources so that this internship program can also be implemented in member states, but the big number of interns will be supported by the member states themselves. We have some countries who are really doing well in supporting interns through various ministries and also private sectors. The project developed training manuals on youth engagement in electoral processes, but also in government and leadership, governance leadership, and these two have been adopted by Comesa Council of Ministers. Next slide. The project also does advocacy, mainly advocating for a meaningful participation of youth in both democratic governance and social development processes. And also one aspect of advocating is to involve the young people in the Comesa policy organ meetings so that they can know and learn how the regional agenda is driven and how the challenges faced by the region are dealt with by the authority from the region. We have also, through this project, assist Comesa to establish the Comesa Youth Advisory Panel, which is a regional body which will assist to advocate for the implementation of the youth agenda in the region. Every country from Comesa was requested to submit the candidate, and the candidate went through an election which was held in 2021 by member states, and 11 members were elected by the countries. And now the COMIA is operational. We have submitted per region. In the Southern African region, we have a member from Eswatini, we have one from Zambia, and one from Congo, was also taken into consideration. The language, the French-speaking countries also, and Arabic-speaking countries. Those are different actions which were undertaken by the project in this area. Next slide. The implementation of project and activities at national level. If you recall the video we just viewed, you have seen that at the end of the boot camp, the delegate or participant have developed projects which they think they can implement themselves with the support of member states or other partners. We saw, for example, the project which was presented by young men from Zambia, the Ubuntu project. This is also, the project is being implemented. And they are doing it on their own without the support of partners. They already started putting in place some structures and local NGOs to make sure that this is happening. We have seen also the project developed by a group presented by a lady from Kenya, the Youth Governance App, which is now on the way to be developed by the Kenya National Youth Council. It's very good to see that government has supported this project, which were developed by the youth themselves. The National Youth Council of Kenya agreed to take it up and put it in their balance scorecard for the year 2021. This is a good practice, and this project will be implemented. You have seen also a project on the National Youth Campaign, which was proposed by a group of youth from countries, and some of them are doing it in their countries. We have seen other activities which were put by the participants in their action plans. This Ndayisaba was part of the Malawi country team action plan. We are really very happy to see that this is coming to fulfillment. We really thank the youth from Malawi for fulfilling their commitment to implement this activity. And Comesa comes only to support the implementation. Otherwise, the activity is properly organized, planned, organized by the youth from Malawi. And the creation and formalization of the Center for Governance and Leadership was also part of the action plan. And this came to pass. We have this organization already existing, which is a good outcome of the bootcamp. This organization is like a baby of the bootcamp. And we really see that the young people in the region are keen to implement what they promised to do. We are also supporting some activities in Burundi, in Mauritius, Rwanda, Ethiopia, and other countries. So we selected some projects which we could support, but in the next phase we think that there will be more support to those projects. Next slide. I think I end from here, and I thank you for listening.
comments and questions from people. So is there anyone with a question or comment on the presentation about the Comesa AU-AGA Youth Engagement Project? Yes. There are a couple of microphones. So what we could do, if there's another question, after taking this one, maybe you could pass the mic through to the next participant.
Like training on capacity building exam, specifically, let's say if it's a country conference or the bootcamp which have a meeting, do you follow up on how they trickle down that such knowledge to others, to other youth, or do you just leave it there after the training you've done with the project or with that activity? You don't go out and follow up on those specific youth, and if the knowledge is actually trickled down to some youth, for example, in the villages, do you really follow up on that?
Questions. The first question was about the policies, strategies, and guidelines, if they are available on Comesa website. For now, they are not yet there. They are being translated because, as I said, we have 3 languages, which is English, French, and Arabic. We cannot put on the website only on one language. So once we finish the translation, it will be put on the website. The website is www.comesa.int. So once they are there, people see them. The second question is the follow-ups. Do you follow up the trainings or boot camps or activity you implement, or you leave it like that? We do make a close follow-up with the beneficiaries of our activities, and Mr. Chimwemwe can witness that we do a follow-up. We have established a platform, a WhatsApp group. All the participants of our activity do form WhatsApp groups, which we can continue interacting and sharing experience on what's happening after the meeting. I also recommend to have a follow-up after this meeting and have a WhatsApp group of the participants so that they can continue interacting between themselves but also between us, so that we can exchange information and see what are the next steps. So we do make a close follow-up with the participants.
Good. Speak up.
Okay, in case of Malawi, how many youth have you reached so far? And how many youth equipped with such knowledge?
In Malawi, how many youth have we reached? I may not have the numbers in my mind, but my colleague Chinamwe, I think he has shared some information with us. I can share with you once I check. But they are there, we follow up with them, how many have been reached. Because I know when they came back from the boot camp, they did organize a kind of feedback meeting, and we know that many people participated. This is a kind of information we get from them.
The project you have just presented, my interest is only the processes. Is it standardized or is it specific for each member state? If it's standardized, can you clarify on the process? Or else, if it's specific, maybe we'll get a response from the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Thank you.
The pilot phase for this project is 3 years, starting from 2019 up to this year. My question was, after this pilot phase, is there going to be continuity? And how long is it going to continue, or how long is the project going to run, for the sake of us who are just being introduced to the project itself?
Let's go ahead and respond. The question of the funding by member state. As I said, we have 21 member states, and all the countries do not have the same capacity in terms of financial availability. There are countries who contribute more than others. Each country contributes according to what they are able to contribute. And we have seen that countries will contribute a lot of money, but all of them are equal when it comes to decision making. They don't consider who contributes much or not. So it's up to the country to decide to increase the amount they are contributing, but they are encouraged to increase their contribution. And so there is no standardized contribution per country. Some do increase what they have started with, others have continued the same. So this is how it is as for now. A second, the fifth question on the pilot phase. Is there a possibility of having a continuity after the pilot phase? We agreed with the partners in the steering committee, which was held in February this year, to have an evaluation at the end of the year, the last quarter, which would determine the outcome, the impact of the project, and also which will decide on what are the next steps. But they are willing to continue supporting the project because in the second phase it will be taken to other regs as well, other regional economic community, maybe SADC or ESC or ECOWAS or ECAS, but also on the Comesa side there will be also a continuity, and for Comesa we foresee an avenue to move to the implementation at national level. So I cannot tell for how long it will be decided after the evaluation, but there is a strong willing from the partners to continue funding this project. It's a project that's funded by both the donor but also the implementing agencies. Comesa is also contributing to the project at a certain percentage, and the African Union is also contributing to a certain percentage. So it's a joint contribution, and both the three partners are willing to continue implementing this project.